Hello everybody, welcome back, welcome back. So, started up the Saab today and it was complaining about low low beam bulb error. And I've been meaning to fix this for a while. I was going to get a new wiring harness altogether, but at the end of the day it's not really necessary when it's really just this ground here that keeps shorting out. So I'm going to fix that real quick. So to start, what I need to do is just pry this open so I can get the nasty old wire out, and then I will open up I'll cut back the wire a little bit so that I can get some fresh copper in there, and then I will make sure this is soldered, and I will use some heat shrink to protect it so that maybe it'll last a little bit longer. So yeah, I want to start, I'm just wedging a screwdriver in here so I can open up these tabs. There's some at the top also, so I might have to just cut this off and work at it for a minute. So let's cut it here. And while I've got a chance, I'm going to strip these back. Don't need a whole lot. That's good for the first one. Let's do the second one. And now we'll twist these together. Good enough to start, so at least that's good. And then now we'll work on this connector here. So let's see what I got. Just don't want to break it or ruin it, so I'm going to cut off this extra. We're going to see if we can't just pry out this bad wire. Alright, so we got a lot of it cleaned out. There's still a little bit down in here. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, so we got that open back up. Now all we got to do is fire up the soldering iron. I use a TS100. I'm not even sure if this is available anymore. I bought it a long time ago, but there's a newer updated model. I apologize, it's probably upside down. So I'm just going to fire this up, and then I'm going to hit this with some solder first, and then we'll slide it into this connector here, and then we'll throw some solder on the connector also. Now the question is, give me 1 second, I gotta find a way to keep that in place. So these are pretty sticky, so they'll work pretty good, because then I can just kind of hold the wire like that, and then just set it just like that, and that'll hold it in place. And then now I should be able to fill this full of solder. It's very cold outside, so it's going to take a bit to get this copper hot enough for it to suck up the solder. I'm also not, I don't have any flux on me right now, so it's going to kind of add to the time it's going to take for this to heat up and take all this solder. That should be good to start. Now, see if we can slide this in here. I might have gotten too much on this end real quick. Let's fix it. Or at least try to flow it through the rest. Okay. Open this up just a little bit more. Okay, should be able to get this in there. So now I need to grab some heat shrink tube. I think maybe this black piece will be fine. Yeah, it should be good. I don't need a whole ton, but it's a little piece, something like that will be good. I shouldn't have any more issues after this. I'm going to slide this heat shrink down. We're going to get this connector on. I still need to open it up a little bit more. Okay. Hopefully you can see this okay. Alright, so that's fitting on there good. So now we can take our pliers, just crimp it down nice and tight. Okay, that's good. So it's nice and tight on there. Now, let's try to flow a little bit more solder in there. It's going to be even harder with this metal being cold. Okay, let's take a look. Should hold on there nicely now. Slide up this heat shrink. All right, look at that. Look at that. So now we'll just take our connector I left the positive in there. You can see we got our positive here. Let me just flip this over and slide it in. And just like that. And then there is a plastic clip that sits down right over top of that. I believe like this. Okay, that clips in. Now we've got the clip for the light bulb, and mine actually lost one side, so I'm going to kind of bend these in a little bit so it holds a little snug. Just like that. We're good, right? Now we just got to install our bulb, and I'm just going to turn the key real quick. I'm going to leave it just like this. We'll see if that comes on okay. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright, so I'm sure you could see that light came on pretty good. So now we just gotta backtrack what we did. So we're gonna reinstall the bulb back in here, which is kind of tricky on this side. On the passenger side, it's much easier. You got a little bit more room. So I'm not sure if I can angle this in a way where you can see better, or if it's going to be helpful, but I just kind of careful not to touch the bulb too much. And then there's two clips on either side of the bulb, which we gotta line up and snap in. Which is kind of tricky. There's not really a whole lot of room. So what I try to do is I try to feel for the clips with my hands so I can make sure that they're positioned. Oops. And then I try to just slowly turn it so that it's clipped in place, but it is not easy. So I got that bottom one in. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Almost got it. There we go, finally. All right, now the second hardest part is installing this little rubber cup. So I always try to make sure that I'll fold it a little bit like this so I can get it down in there. And the biggest thing is getting the bottom on first. Makes it a lot easier to work with, but because there's not a lot of room, like I said. So I just kind of run my finger along the edge of the cup, this rubber cup, and then I just slowly push it on, making sure that it's not buckling anywhere. And that's probably the fastest and easiest I ever got it on. Now let's just double check once again, make sure the light's good now that it's installed, because there's been plenty of times that's happened to me. All right, let me see if I can position this in a way that you guys can see. we've already got a few inches of snow today. Okay, yeah, you guys should be able to see that. Alright, so we got headlights. We got headlights. Alright, so now I should not have to worry about that again. Between the heat shrink and the soldering, I should be good on that. And if you don't fix that and you just kind of mess around and let it go, you'll start losing headlight bulbs pretty frequently. Let me turn this ignition off. So yeah, quick little 15-minute job, but it's going to save us a lot of headache in the future. So if you notice that you're having some issues with the bulbs in the front or even the taillight, it's going to be the same deal. Just check the connections, make sure they're good. Do be careful with the plugs and everything because they're going to be kind of brittle. So when you're prying stuff apart and opening it up, just take your time. And shouldn't be too bad. Just make sure you got yourself a decent soldering iron that can get hot enough. Grab some heat shrink tube. I believe I got this at Harbor Freight forever ago, the whole box of it. And you guys should be good to go. But that's going to be all for me today. I got to get inside and warm up. I appreciate everybody joining me, and have a good one.